entered again and again. Let's go. Hello everyone. Today is actually the last day of this course, FortiGate Firewall, and we're going to close this topic, and we're going to go through the topics that we've missed or topics that we didn't cover. Just we're going to skim through it because we have already covered the most important topics, the key topics. Just we need to go through some of the remaining topics briefly, and we'll close this course. Move on to the next subject. Admin. So we're going to start with the VPN. We've talked about VPN actually in the previous sessions, site-to-site and hub-and-spoke VPN, but we talked about how to set it up using the wizard, which is very simple. And let's see how to set it up using the custom. There is an option to set it up custom site-to-site VPN. Site. Next. Okay, so I'm going to go through how this one by one and what's the best practice. So as you know, the first phase of IPsec version 2 and 1 is that whether it's 2 or 1 is like it's to make sure that we establish a secure connection, right? So we're going to set here this remote gateway static IP address. We can throw options, dial up and dynamic. So here best practice is to set it up IPv4. okay, remote gateway static IP address. Okay, static IP address 0.0.0.0 is equals to dial up or unknown. If you don't know the static IP address, the remote gateway used when peer is behind NAT. Peer has dynamic IP. Fixed IP, put the real IP. If you know the IP, you can put it here. If it's dynamic, you can keep it like this. Fixed IP, better security, faster negotiation. Want to try to negotiate, PS key protects you, but still, the remote gateway actually is going to be most likely using the dynamic DNS. We're going to put it right because public IP keeps changing, so we will put some URL here, and the interface is going to be port 1, which is facing the 1.1. Let's put something here. .com dynamic DNS.com, just to make it look realistic. And the local gateway here is which local IP to use as VPN endpoint. Interface IP. So just leave it as it is. Actually, secondary IP, primary IP, primary IP, secondary. I think we can use the primary IP here, the local gateway, and mode config used for remote access. Pushes IP DNS. It's usually disabled, so leave it like that. NAT reversal is very important. This one, it adds a UDP packet, encapsulates the IP packet with the UDP for 4500. This has to be enabled always. And keep alive did per detection frequency 10. on demand or on idle. On demand, yeah. Retry count 3, leave it as it is. No need to modify actually most of these things. And we go to advanced. We have add route. This actually should be enabled, I think. In case of route, you can disable it. Yeah. Authentication. We can use pre-shared key for lab, but if you have a big environment, it's recommended to use signature. You can add certificate from here, and we will talk about how to create certificate later. So let's start with pre-shared key. Let's put any key here for now. Like version, it's always recommended to use version 2. Okay, and then on phase 1 you just need you just need to add the encryption, which is DES SHA-256. It's recommended to put AES, but here I don't think there is an option to add AES. You can remove all this, we just need 1 or 2, I think. And we can put that's it. And authentication, we'll put it SHA-256. Yeah, so you shouldn't use DES actually. See, AES is more secure in encryption. Always use AES, and the higher the number, the better. AES 256 is better. I'm using DES here because I don't see an option here on this version. There is no option, I think. And Diffie-Hellman group. This is used for no authentication. Actually, it's okay because we are using SHA-256 or better. Yeah, SHA-1 use only for legacy peer. SHA-256 is better, or more, or higher. You can use 512, no problem. Yeah. Authentication. Diffie-Hellman group. This is for key exchange. It has to be higher than 14. Currently, yeah. Group 19, 14. Yeah, anything 14 or 19 is okay. 14 or 19, it's okay. And lifetime, keep it as it is, 864, 24 hours. Local ID, who you claim. You can put the IP here if you want. And this, once this is done, we'll go to phase 2, selector here. Local address, we'll put the IP, remote IP also. Yeah, this means encrypt everything. Okay, this is route based VPN behavior. Even if UI calls it selectors, but for route based VPN, yeah, this is route. This is this one. We're putting local address 00, remote address. This means that it's going to encrypt everything. New phase 2 advanced. Replay detection, we can keep it on, right? Perfect. Forward secrecy, force new Diffie-Hellman exchange for phase 2. Enable it, use same as phase 1. Okay, we used 14 and 19 in phase 1, right? You can enable PFS and much the same. And local remote protocol all, and this is normal for route based VPN. Remote port, auto negotiate, tunnel comes up automatically. Enable, otherwise tunnel waits for traffic. Okay, enable this one. auto key, keep alive phase 2, keep phase 2 live. Enable unless troubleshooting, so keep it on. It's already on, I think. Seconds, yeah. Most common mistake is like phase 1 is up, phase 2 is down. Selectors or proposal mismatch, tunnels up, no traffic. Yeah. So these are the key points we need to understand. So we will click OK and we just set our VPN here. And it has to match on the other side also, these parameters. That was missing, we didn't discuss about it before in the previous session. So there is one more topic, remote VPN. Yeah, the idea is remote VPN is when you want to access like internal network from external network. Okay, let's say you want to access internal resources. Okay, but you're outside of the network, external. You can use remote access VPN. Yeah. So we can use something called SSL VPN. It uses TLS 1.3 disable. Yeah. So SSL VPN is basically this one. So first thing, we are going to go to SSL VPN portal here, create, and we're going to create remote user. Actually, first you're supposed to create the user in groups. Let's go to user on authentication. User definition, let's create a user here, local user. Okay, next. And I'm going to create the username, Sean. And I'm going to name it here contact info. No need to do this right now. No need to factor in the user group. Yes, but let me create group first and then I will add it later. Submit. So now I created a user. Okay, right, and from user to definition. Now let's create a group and put this user inside this group. So let's say IT group, and yeah, and members, I will put John here, and that's it. So I've done this, and let's go to, yeah, once this is done we can go to SSL portal, create remote admin access. We can enable this, keep it enabled. Let's go back to the settings, recommended settings for the SSL VPN. Yes. Yeah. So basically this is what it means: limit users to one SSL VPN connection at a time. Okay, this means like a user can only can have one session connected at a time. Okay, prevents account sharing, IP pool exhaustions. Yeah. So okay, and then we have the tunnel mode. Tunnel mode means like we have something called split tunneling. Okay, split tunneling, if it's enabled, means like it's going to choose between, it's going to route traffics that are routes are pushed based on the firewall policies. Yeah. So it means like only client traffic in which destination matches the destination of the configured firewall policy will be directed over the SSL VPN. That means if we disable the split tunneling, all client traffic will be directed to over the SSL VPN. Everything will go through this SSL VPN, but we don't want that. We want only the client traffic where it matches the SSL VPN policy. This is the recommended setting. and this we can leave it disabled. Source IP pool. So these are the SSL VPN tunnel address. These are the source IP pool. Tunnel mode verification. This is pretty straightforward. Allow client to save password, and allow client to connect automatically. Keep connection. You can. This is good for user experience, but yeah, and this is important. You have to do this as well. Host check. Restrict specific OS. You can choose like which OS the user can access the VPN. We have something called web mode. If this is disabled, the user can only access the VPN using the software called FortiClient. Okay, this software is used to access for SSL VPN to access it remotely. Without the software, he won't be able to access. But if you enable web mode, he can access through the web browser normal with an IP. So it's recommended to keep it and enable this one, so it will allow users to actually log in to download the client. The maximum number of entries have been reached. Let's see. I think there is a limit to how many SSL VPNs you can create at one time. Let's see what I created here. Tunnel address. Yeah. So let's cancel this one. Let's delete this one. Okay. Let's create a new VPN here. Self VPN and click on. Leave this as it is. Source pool. Put this one. And okay, enable this and host check. We don't really need to do that, but keep it restrict specific OS. Okay, come on, let's do it to OS. Actually, we don't need to do that. Keep this on and okay. So this is done. Once you create the portal, next step is you go to SSL VPN settings. Okay, and listen on which interface. It's going to be port 1. Yeah. Then you're going to get port conflict because HTTPS is using 443. So you have to change this one. Remember to change it. You can put any port here, so it doesn't conflict with this the main admin panel. Certificate, you can put any certificate, or you can create here. Create certificate and redirect HTTP to SSL VPN. Here, allow access from any host or limit access to specific host. If you keep it anywhere, automatically assign address. Tunnels, users will receive IPs in the range of this one. Yeah, so anyone who will use this will receive this IP, this address. This is the one that we specified on the portal, right? And DNS, keep it same as the client ID. Now this is very important. Here we can map the portal with the settings. Okay, here the user groups. I want to apply this to IT groups, and the portal, link it here. Click OK. Now I'm going to allow. Yeah, this is done, right? Then click apply. Please set the default portal for all other. Okay, we have to set for all other users also. 1 second. The default portal will be same. And next, apply. Setting saved. So yeah, no SSL VPN policy exists. Click here to create a new SSL VPN policy. We have to set VPN policy here, and once we create here, we just have to type it will automatically be the interface that we created here, and you can put here SSL VPN. The outgoing interface is going to be port 1, and yeah, the incoming will be here, the outgoing will be port 1. No, actually port 2, I think it's supposed to be the opposite. We can, yeah. Yeah, this is how the policy should be actually. The incoming interface is the SSL root, this one. This one is created when we chose the tunnel mode on the SSL one. The outgoing interface should be the internal, this one, port 2, which is connected to my PC. And the source should be SSL VPN pool. I think it's going to be the local subnet. No, I think it's this one. Destination is going to be the internal subnets. Internal subnet, which is the local subnets here. One user or groups are required. So for the sake of testing, keep it here. No, one user or groups are required. So keep it here just for testing purpose. The problem is it's not showing any user or group here, even though I created the group and the users here. 1 second. Okay, and okay, so let's just change this one. Let's change the source here, remove the source, remove the source. The source is going to be keep it IT group. I think one address or address group for external resources is required. Okay, let's move on to the destination. Is going to be, it's not going to be this one. For destination, it's going to be the internal subnet, right? So we can put the local subnet here. One user or group. I've set the user and the group. Address. Okay, one from each. One address group, and external resource or internet is required. So I have the IT group here. So this is the address is going to be, I don't have it here set, the address, but we can set it up here manually. Put link in the new tab and create an address, or let's just go ahead and I think this one, let's clone it. Yeah, see what happens. Delete it, type IP range. Yeah, let's see what happens. Okay, the internet service, actually we don't really have anything to add in the internet service. External resource, but the others, let's keep it all for the sake of practice, trying. And service, let's put it all. Required, or you should be required, but we can keep it all for now. And this is very important. Whenever we make any policy for VPN, whether it's SSL VPN or IPsec or any kind of VPN, we have to make sure to disable the NAT here. And okay. So we've done the policy, and basically that's it. So let's move on to the next topic. And we have went through each topic: IPsec and the virtual DOM. Virtual DOM, it's a topic about it's a way how you can make multiple virtual firewalls in one physical box. Like, you can divide this a single firewall into multiple virtual firewalls. Okay, root, VDOM, there is two types: the default, customer or department VDOMs. This is the report. Like, let's say in a big company you have one firewall and you want to divide the firewall into multiple different departments or customers. You want them to have their own virtual firewall, so you can divide it into multiple departments. What's isolated? Interfaces will be separated, routing tables will be separated, policies will be separated, VPNs will be separated, logs also. So inter VDOM communication, link virtual cables, controlled with firewall policies. Okay, inter VDOM communication, these are cables that connects two different virtual DOMs. Okay, use case is an MSSP, large enterprise environment separation, and this is actually used in big companies, and I don't think we will be interacting with this on a daily basis, but it's good to understand its concept. Like single sign-on, it's authenticate user once reused identity across services. What's single sign-on? Single sign-on is like, if you remember, instead of entering your username and password every time, you can authenticate one time and use automatically to authenticate for all other services, right? And we have FortiGate single sign-on. What's this? User-based profiles, okay, policies, and identity-based routing, per user, web filtering. Yeah. So firewall authentication, user-based firewalling, firewall based on who the user is, not just IP. So what this means is, like, if you remember here, we created one user, right? Here on the firewall, on the user here, I created a user and added to this group. Like, I can create policy here. Like, I can say, let's say, any traffic that's coming from interface 2 going outside from the LAN, source from I can choose the source. Like, I can specify only, instead of specifying the address, the IP address, okay, I can say, for example, IT group, or by my address. We can do it by my address. Like, I can add the address, add the destination. That's it's going to specific address. You don't have to use IP. You can use by the user. You can make policies by the user. Basically, that's the idea of this one. And BGP, we just want to know about it's a border gateway protocol, policy-based routing between autonomous systems. It scales better than OSPF, used for one VPN. So it has something called AS number. And dynamic route exchange for getting next to. For more scalability, BGP is better. Strong policy control. One friendly for internet. It's an internet routing protocol actually. And basically that's it. I think we can just close this subject, this course. My goal was not to cover every single feature and FortiGate firewall. It was just to make sure you understand and I understand every single the key features in firewall and that are used on day-to-day basis, and to have the knowledge of firewall, how firewalls work. All firewall vendors work the same way. The only difference is that some terms and some terminologies and some small differences you'll find, but the core concept remains the same for all firewalls. Okay, and we needed to go through the firewall course so that we can move on. It will help us in the later courses, which will be on SOC Blue Team course fundamentals, and but first we're going to go through, in our next session we're going to start Windows servers, our Microsoft Windows servers, and I'm not going to spend a lot of time on it, just 3 videos, and then we're going to go with Linux. Just 1 video would be enough actually, and then next week we're going to start Blue Team course, SOC Analyst course. It's going to be comprehensive, and we're going to talk about IDS, IPS, and logs, Splunk, and many more. And thank you for watching. See you on the next session. Don't forget to subscribe, and that's it.